Hey guys, I'm here. I'm ready to go. Want to see if everything's working. You guys let me know if you have any problems hearing me so I can make some adjustments on my side. Today we've got a nice video, 24 minutes long. We're going to talk through it. We're going to answer questions. We're going to chat amongst each other and see what we think about what's going to be produced and what's going to be delivered. Also take a deep long look at the construction also. So waiting to hear someone tell me that they can actually, or waiting to see someone tell me that they can hear me. And then, sound is good. Thank you, Jordan. And got a couple people in the chat already. John Wang, 577 cars delivered end of year. Let's go. And Brian says way earlier than that, John. See now, there's this thing going back and forth, 577 or 520. I've got an article that says it's 520. And I'm trying to figure out where this 577 came from. And was that the number that they originally said was at 477 and then they changed it to 520? Or where did this 577 come from? But I've got 520 in print that I could show you guys. And how come you come up with those numbers? From cciv, Mark, prototypes are easy, production is hard. Yes, Mark, it is. We know that. Elon's told us that. And I don't think that they're doing too bad on production so far, but it's the ramping up that's going to really be difficult. And we're going to see how that goes over the next couple of months. Open to the road. I want to see some flyover action. You're going to see some here shortly. I'm just giving people a couple minutes to get in before we start. Thank you, Mr. C. It's working well. Glad to hear that. I've had some complaints that it's not as loud. That I'm a little. It's not as loud as they'd like it. So, Brian, my Tesla weekend says cars. Brian and I do a live stream every Tuesday. If you guys are interested in seeing that, we talk about all things EV. Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So just tune into one of our channels and you can see that. 1,111 cars, audio good. Yeah, that's the rumor, 1111. I think somebody said that they heard someone from inside say that was a goal, and I think that's where that number's been coming from. Axio says 557. 577 comes from the investor docs. Brian, hello. I heard it was 577 from other sources. I think the thing that I have, which we could flip over to that real quick. See if I can find that one for you. On Inside EVs, this was an article from September 22nd that I'm going to bring up here for you guys. Here we go. And in this article, it states, to celebrate our record-breaking EPA official 520-mile range achievement, we're increasing total production of the fully reserved Dream Edition to 520 vehicles. Now they're quoting somebody. I think that might be Rawlinson, but they have it in quotes. So 520 Dreams can only be made. Yes, I think that's definitely 520 is how many Dreams that they're going to make. But as far as production numbers, I don't know. Got to look further into that one. Hello from Texas. Hello from Arizona. Rislas, only heard 522 but want 1,000. Is the target for production or deliveries? Now, according to this article, it's 520 produced. And that's why I was looking this up, because I was trying to find out whether the promise was on production or whether it was on deliveries. And this does say production. And that means that it's going to be a lot easier to meet the goal, because then you don't have to worry about the logistics of finding 520 people who ordered these cars and making sure that you can meet up with them before the end of the year and complete the transaction. And there will undoubtedly be a couple people who'll be like, I just lost all my money in Bitcoin. I don't have any money to buy this. And they're going to have to pass on it. So therefore, that's going to go back in the pool. And I don't know if there's another waiting list for people who are waiting to get the ones that don't close the deal. So to hit 577, you need 57 non-dreams. That is correct. And I was looking something up right before we got started, that's why I was maybe 30 seconds late. Most of the dreams that we've seen have come with the rims that you've seen where the black pieces come off, and you can kind of change the look of it. They're almost like they're hubcaps inside each spoke. So I thought that maybe that Dream Edition only came with those rims, but apparently they come with other rims, and we can see in some of the video today that some of these cars have different rims. But that was so I was a little disappointed. I was hoping to see get a big scoop there that other cars were being made. So we're about 6 minutes into this. We got at least 65 viewers showing up on my end. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the flyover and we'll get started on that. Let me get that playing. And this is always our safety disclosure and our awesome splash screen made by my son Riley, who is my producer also and editor and does a lot of the flying for me. So at the beginning of this video, we were starting off with our old drone. We're still keeping it with us, and we're just doing a quick scan of the south side. Right at the beginning of that, you could see that there was some foundation work going on, and there's going to be a company coming in there to put up the steel. That section is not part of the site plans. Don't know what part it is, but I've heard that Lucid went back and forth saying we wanted this done first, we wanted this done now, and then they keep changing it. And I've heard they've made a lot of changes. They made a lot of changes to the plans. You can see it coming up here on the right side of the screen. This has got a lot of foundation work, and they're starting on a perimeter wall right there. We're going to get a close-up view of it later, so we won't stop there. But the perimeter grade beam is the forms are being put in as we speak, and they're going to be pouring more concrete in the next couple of days, weeks, and start with that building down there, and they'll probably have separate cranes coming in. You can see it up there this is the area right here. It's right on the south side, and in the site plans that we have, and I will show the site plans today, though they may not be the most accurate. We will find out. So here we have steel laid out. This is all the steel for this building right here, and they've already got it staged. That's about where it's going to end up going, and they are working hard on that. You can see as we're coming up, we're flying to the north, we're facing west. You can see the two cranes at work. How many sections do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 times, that's 15. They've got about 18 sections up right now. I don't know the dimensions of those sections at this point. I'm not even going to guess. It's hard to make out the scale of how big it is from the air. I know from the ground they look pretty big. Gilbert says they have one Grand Touring in Scottsdale. Is that the black one, Gilbert? Because that's the one that I've seen before. I wasn't sure. I didn't think that one was a Dream Edition when we were up there, but I wasn't sure. Javier says, "Hey Bear, love your vids. When is the next Nikola flyover? Thought that would be today. It will be later today. It's going to be posted later. We did 2 flyovers today, and the Nikola will be posted later. After after we're done here, probably going to start uploading that. So probably about an hour and a half. We're going to go ahead and see that." Brian says there's 2 types of wheels. All the way on the right is a 19-inch. Yes, that's what I found out after doing a little bit of looking. So while I was yapping, we went past the solar and the parking, but this is a close-up view of that building on the south end, and we zoomed in there pretty far. You can see all the footings being put in. We've got the caissons in the middle, and those caissons extend all the way to the footings of the wall. And right there you can see the forms being put up for the perimeter grade beam. And then we're going to get in a little bit closer. And you can see the rebar on one side of the wall. The wood forms are up there, and then they'll put another form on the other side. You can also see all the plumbing that was in there that you could definitely not see from here. Here we're zooming in again. What are we looking at? We're looking at some trench work going on. You can see a water truck in the background, and you can now see all the white pipes coming out of the ground. That is for utilities. Could be for plumbing or other things. More than likely, those are plumbing is usually white, but they also could be just sticks to mark where something is. So it could be anything when it comes down to it. And we're going to zoom in somewhere else. I'm looking over the left screen because it's bigger. But there we can see some more trench work going on. And more pipes coming out of the ground. And those almost look gray, which would be electrical. And there's some white pipes right there. And let's see. Do you believe they will hot the 520 target? Oh, do we believe that they will hit the 520 target? Since their target was production, I definitely think they're going to hit 520 cars, just from what I've seen. We'll go over production numbers in a little bit when we get to it, when we get to the actual cars and what we're looking at. This is just more supplies. We've got some rebar cages on the bottom of that picture. And let's see what else. Got a couple forklifts, a couple boxes, and things like that. So plenty of things. And here we've got all the steel. And boy, have they got that stuff laid out. Steel, something that you got to order way in the future. Not as bad as the roofing materials on back order. It takes about a year. That's how long it takes to get like the roof decking in. It will take you a year. So this stuff had to have been ordered quite a long time ago. Anything you see there that's silver in color, that was on the left side of the screen, just zoomed out of it. But on top, these little lines that are silver, that's the roof decking, and they put them up there to spread them out as they move down the structure. This is going to be the height of the structure, and there's something in here that's hard to see. I'm going to pause it right here. And right here, if you notice, there is steel coming up, and then it goes across right here. This is actually another level. This is going to be like a conveyor belt. You can see right here where my mouse is, and right here, and then again right here and here, and then right at the beginning. We're going to get another view of that when we go around to the other side. But that is a tunnel that is being built onto the roof. It's going to be a conveyor belt for the cars, and that area on top of the roof is going to attach to the existing buildings, and the cars are going to go through there. And I believe that that's where they're going to go into the paint shop. And I don't know if they're coming back out. I don't know if there's room for that, or if they just continue on through general assembly. Lee says, "Woo, Bear, thanks for the commentary, brother. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk to you guys, and so that this community can get together and see what's going on." And Jordan says, "Guess they're moving more than just moving dirt around." That is a reference to Warren Redlick, who thinks that they are just moving dirt around. There is an existing tunnel that goes from one building to the other. We're going to have another shot of that from the other side a little bit later. But cars are actually moving from one building to the other building. The building on the north's got the paint shop in it. The building on the south is a general assembly. And they move back and forth, or they move in one direction from one building to the other. That's how they travel. And that's going to be what we're going to see on top of the building that they're putting together right now. There's going to be a tunnel that's going to come out the top. I'll show it to you in the plans. You can see it there. There's a view all the way from the east side, looking at all the cars in the parking lot today. And yes, there was a lot, 156 cars, I think I counted. So quite a few. And zooming back in on the steel, I know we had some shots where they're actually moving some material around. I don't know if this is the shot or not, but they're putting some roof decking on. I know the other crane was, but they're definitely making progress. Risla says, "Wasn't this the gravity Pratt?" This is where they're going to be building the gravity and also extending the assembly line for the Lucids. Also, I believe that they're going to be doing both there. It's going to increase the capacity of the Lucid Air and create the capacity for the Lucid Gravity. Javier says, great job on your videos. Thanks to you. I hold my shares on Nikola and Lucid. If these succeed, I'll make a huge donation to your channel. Well, I'm definitely rooting for him. I wasn't before. And though riskless, the gravities are not going to be 160,000. If they do that, I think that'd be a huge mistake. I don't know what the price is. If anybody knows where the gravities are going to be priced at, please put something in the comments. I thought that they were going to be less expensive than that, with maybe some of the models getting into the higher range like that, the more luxurious models. Here we're zooming in on one of the drills. These were one of a few drills that were out there that were drilling out all the caissons. And I heard from different sources anywhere from 1,300 to 1,500 caissons were drilled and then filled in with rebar and then concrete. So that took quite a long time, and that's why some people thought they were just moving dirt around. Todd says, awesome you take the time to do this great footage. Appreciate it greatly, and I recommend people to subscribe to your channel. Thank you very much, Todd. We appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Just hit that button down in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe, and you'll see more content like this in the future. No, the cars in the car park. Yes, those cars are about $160,000, give or take. That's the solar area. This is the area, the two sections on the south side of the parking lot. I thought that the one section that's at the bottom of the screen was done already, but it looks like they're still doing some more work on it. Once they finish that, we'll find out if they're going to continue to go further north. And it's a decent amount of solar power. I haven't counted the panels, and I'm not going to, but those are probably 300 to 320 watt panels for each one of them. So anybody bored, Brian from My Tesla Weekend, you like counting things. How many solar panels are there? Let us know in the comments. You have 5 minutes. All right, we're back to the construction site where they're putting up the steel, and you can see guys moving around there. We didn't speed this up at all. It looks like the crane that's in the center of the screen was moving there, so he's probably moving something around. That's the water pond. They use that to get water from, and then they spray it around the site to keep the dust down. That tent-like structure is a place for employees to cool down. It's air conditioned, and they have food and snacks and places to take their break in. But that was put out there over the summer, and I was told that that's what that was for. You can see a lot more construction trades have got their offices set up there, as they have a lot of work to do. And this is a staging area, and I'm not sure what that... Oh, that's going to be like a workshop, a makeshift workshop. It's interesting to see it with a curved roof like that. Usually they just throw some metal sheets over it, but they'll put metal sheets over a couple of the containers, the large containers, and they'll set up a workshop for fabbing things that they need to, maybe repairing vehicles. Some of the heavier equipment often needs repairs, or maybe it's just doing some fab work on some steel that's going in. Where's the water from? They probably pump that water in from either one of the irrigation canals, or they'll just get it right from the city. But they'll keep that full so that they can keep the dust down, and you'll see the water trucks all the time. Over on the left-hand side, that's going to be a water retention basin and an extended parking lot. That area that they're grading right in the middle of the screen, like in this area right here, this is going to be another large extension onto this building, more of a body in white and some warehousing, I believe. Boss, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And you're welcome, and thank you. That was your comment. You could have said anything you wanted. All you did was say thank you. But you're welcome. You know that. So there's our shot of the cars. And there was a picture that was out on Twitter yesterday of a similar shot of a flyover. I heard that it was from a plane and not from someone else flying a drone. They counted 144 cars, and I think we had 156 or 157 today. I remember these numbers are just crazy. So we got a nice good zoom. We got all the way in, and
to see if we can get a closer look. You can see the rims clearly on this, and most of these cars have the what's that style rim? Aereo something or another. They're both called Aereo, the two options on the Dream Edition. And one is Aereo something, and the other is also Aereo something. I've got it over here on my screen, but I just haven't looked. Let's see if someone can tell me what it is before I find it. And fortunately, I have a delay, so we've got Aereo Dream and Aereo Range. Okay, so these are the cars that were over by the factory, and there was, I think, 26 in that picture yesterday. Today there was a couple less, so they did move some of these. Oh my goodness, Gilbert, thank you so much. That is very much appreciated. That is a great support, and I thank you for that. Wow, now I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so some of the cars may have been moved. Some of the cars may have been transported out. But at the very least, there's 12 new cars from yesterday. Just got to remind everybody, we don't know, unless we see it, we don't know if cars are being moved out. We have seen car haulers in there before. We've seen them getting loaded up, so we know that cars are going out. But we just haven't seen them in the last 24 hours, so we know that there's at least 12 more cars. They could have had a car hauler in there, one car hauler, hold 6 cars. That means that they would have made 18 cars since yesterday's flyover. So we have to keep that in mind. We're looking, when we're making our guesses, initially we were saying when we saw cars in different spots in the parking lot, we were assuming that they were new cars because we didn't really think that they were playing musical cars. And I don't think that they were, but at this point they might be moving cars just because they need to. So I think it's very possible that cars were pulled out. There's from that second row, it fits 66 cars, but there's 10 spots missing, and some of them are just in random places, like there were cars there and then they were moved out. So it's extremely possible that they're doing more than 12 cars. Flyboy, thank you very much for your super chat. That's appreciated. I like the little Japanese fox, I think that is. That's cool. He's doing his little dance. Okay, so I heard something. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to actually take this back and zoom in. Let's leave this right here for a second. Come back out just a little bit. I heard somebody who is in the know tell me that they're doing about 5 jobs per hour. And I was like, well, what do you mean 5 jobs? What does that mean? What does 5 jobs mean? Well, that means that they are building 5 cars every hour, and their goal was 10, and they have the capability of doing 13. So I'm like, okay, well, if they're trying to shoot for 520 by the end of the year, 5 an hour, even on one shift, that's 40 cars a day. I'm like, that's not so bad. This person didn't think it was that great because other companies will do 60 to 70 cars per hour, jobs per hour. I'm like, well, 5 cars for a startup that is in production hell right now, I think that's pretty good. So they were shooting for 10, they're getting 5, but we also know that we've gone out to the site but with 2 days in between and we've seen the exact same cars. And that kind of tells us that there may have been a production line shut down. And that can happen because something's not being done right and it took some time to fix, or maybe there was a supply shortage. But that hasn't happened in 2 weeks. And right now we just see more and more cars piling up in this parking lot. But if they are getting 5 out per hour, that's pretty phenomenal. I heard at the beginning of production they were doing 5 to 8 cars a day. Now I'm hearing that they're doing 5 jobs per hour. And though I can't say that I'm seeing 40 cars per day, 40 new cars, but like I said before, this is what we're seeing. We're not seeing the cars that are being taken away. And easily, 5 car haulers are going to take 30 cars in a day. So We just don't really know. We're going to know, but at least we have a general idea that we're seeing at least 12 cars, 14 cars. Our picture from 1 week ago today had 60, I think it was 60 cars in it, and now we have 156. That's an increase of 96 cars, and that's more than 13 cars a day for the last week. So either at a bare minimum they're doing 13 cars. That's assuming that not a single car got picked up. So I think that the production goal of 520 has probably been surpassed. Deliveries, that's another story. And I know deliveries count because that's where you get your money. But at the same time, they're going to happen. The people who order their dreams are going to get their dreams. And that's 520 cars. The vehicles could also be in the building and down the road in the warehouse. Yeah, they can. I don't know if it's worth it to them to pick them up and move them down to the warehouse. It's Me says, that's not true. It's not close to 5 an hour. I've been working at Lucid for 2 years. Pretty much all I can say without getting in trouble. Yeah, okay, well, it's just what I've heard. I'm not saying that it was correct information, but it was someone from within the car industry. But it's me if you want to drop me a line privately and let me know what it's more like. And are these 13 cars per day, 12, 13 cars, are these correct? Ron, thank you. Thank you. That's a very nice super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks, Bear. Like your level-headed approach, man. No ranting. Yeah, I can rant sometimes, but I'll not rant today because I like your super chat. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So this is us over on the west side facing east, and I'm gonna stop it right there real quick because I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna go back just a little bit and zoom back in. I'm using the mouse or the keys on the keyboard. This is where you can actually see where this elevated tunnel is going to be. This isn't going. These raised columns are not going to extend across the entire factory. They are just there for that tunnel that's going to extend into the other building, which I think that's kind of neat looking. Gagim. Oh, I messed that one up. Sorry. I guess I can bring the cars inside nights and drive them out during the day. Known tactics since Middle Ages. Since the Middle Ages? Okay. I didn't know they had cars in the Middle Ages. Let's see. Todd, I've heard Peter say the factory can turn one car every 10 minutes. Well, that would put them at 6 cars an hour. That's not far off from the from 5 jobs per hour. But they definitely need to have a higher production rate than that in the long run, and I'm sure that they will. Just being new at this, and you've got new guys, it takes time to get things flowing right. Plus, you've got supply and logistics, and getting everything that you need in there. So this is the north end of the site. You can see the cars again. You could see this area over here is supposed to just be for tractor trailer parking. The test track we moved. This is the test track right there. I've yet to see a car on there, but I'm sure we're just not catching it. It's got some of the speed bumps to drive over and check for rattles, things like that. Let's see, what else do we got up here? It needs to hit 50 cars a day by next year. I think that's possible. I like the run rate that they're doing right now for a company that just started doing this. I really do think that they're off to a good start. There's that tunnel again. This is a view from it from the other angle. This is looking at it from the north side. I wish those windows were clear so we could see like cars just going by. I think that would be pretty awesome. But, you know, they're not. So, but this is what we're going to see on the roof. And we're going to be taking a look at the plans, and I'll show you that in a couple minutes. We've got about 2.5 minutes left of this video. There's another shot of the guys working. Once I get that steel up, some of it has to be welded in. Some of it gets bolted in. They still need the guys who are going to do the roof decking to do their thing, because that has to be done, obviously. Does anyone know when Lucid will release full production delivery numbers? Early January or during the investor call in February? And Brian says, it's me. He might know, but I don't think he's going to share that. I think he likes his job. So towards the bottom end of that screen, you could see those houses there that are half demolished. Those houses are going to be going away. That is Lucid property, and those will be destroyed, leveled at some point, and additional buildings will be put there. Jason Pike says 20,000 is only possible at about 50 vehicles per day. That's where they're going to need to be, and you've got to account for downtime also. Brian, my Tesla weekend, 50 in a day in a year. 50 day in a year will seem quaint, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, he's being sarcastic. And Brian says, it's me. Are you saying greater or less than 5? Can you provide that info? Yeah, just pump them for information. Gilbert, oh my goodness. Thank you. Again. You're killing me. I love you. Gilbert's like my new superhero. All right, we're flying back down south and still looking at the factory and seeing where. Try and remember this, because in a moment we're going to go to the site plans. This section right here is what they're building, and they're headed south here, and they're going to be doing this part a little bit on the west side. And there'll be another steel company coming from over here. They've got some work to do. Over here, because that's where we see them. So Lucid has got different steel contractors for different sections for the sole purpose of getting this done quicker. That's what I heard. So they're trying to get this done as quick as possible, and I definitely see this being done very quickly now that they got all those foundations, the time-consuming foundations. There's a shout out to the Patreons who are currently supporting us. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, please take a look in the description below. We appreciate everyone's support. Who is a Patreon? Now, let's get to some site plans, shall we? Let's see. We already talked about this article on Inside EV that was talking about it was a 520 production run and extending the Dream Edition to 520. So I'm going to look into it further to see what the actual numbers are. So this is a photo I got in July. This is public information. This is what they're building right now. So you can see they've started right up here. They're putting the steel in. This is that tunnel. Though it doesn't show it connecting in this photo, it does. It's hard to see, but it actually does connect. I'm going to see if I can make this slightly bigger. And maybe I'm not going to make it bigger because I want to be able to zoom in. And I want to be able to not have a crappy view. But if you were able to 27-inch monitor, I can see this easily. But this tunnel actually turns left right here, and then it connects right up here. So that's where that tunnel is going to be going. It's going to transport the cars back and forth between the two buildings. This is the existing paint shop, and this is the existing body in white. Let me make that a little smaller. There we go. And then there's going to be a body in white addition right here. And that's what they're grading out right now. They've graded out the parking lot right here, and they don't show the reservoir, the retention basin right here, but that's where it's at. They call it the Conveyor tunnel. They've got a line pointed to it, and that's where it's going from there to there. All of this side is going to be general assembly unless things have changed. Ron, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. 1111. I like that. Nice. I see what you did there. And McKay, hey, welcome, McKay. Good to see you. McKay's got a channel called McKay Thompson, and he talks about different stocks, and he talks about Lucid stock, and he's a very much of a pro Lucid person, so you should check out his channel also called McKay Thomason. His name is right there. You just look that up and you'll be able to find it. So the warehouse was what I heard was the other companies building this warehouse, this part right here. The General Assembly 2 and a couple other things were being built by the existing company that's out there right now. We have a powertrain unit down there, and then in these plans they don't show what's down here, which is another building, and I don't know what that is yet. I've got the paperwork. I submitted it for Casa Grande to get some updated site plans, and then they started telling me that it was 50 cents a page, and there was thousands of pages, and they said that your bill would be about $5,000. So to narrow down what I'm looking for, so I'm putting in another request with just the basic site plans, so we can get something updated. And I don't know if I'll have it by next Wednesday, but when I do have it, I will definitely be sharing it with you. Let's see. Nikki Tyne says Ron is also amazing. Yes, he is. Jason says 13 per hour with 3 shifts gives a possible of 113,880 vehicles. That would be a best case scenario. That's if they got to get 3 shifts going, and I don't know. The 13 an hour is just what they're suited for, was what I was told in the first building. That would be their maximum production. So you know, we're talking about max. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Stamping is an addition. Where do they stamp today? They do have stamping in that existing building, where the existing body in white, they are stamping in there, from my understanding. I could be wrong, but it's me. You can correct me if I am wrong. Let's see. Let's take a look at what else do I have. Here's some more site plans. These are also older. This is site plans when it was a 2.4 million square foot addition. That's what it says here in this corner. You guys may not be able to read it because it's pretty small as it is. Required setbacks, 35 feet in the front, 15s on the side. Max building height is 60 feet. The proposed building height is 55 feet. That's good information, actually. That gives you a rough idea of how tall the structure is that we're looking at. Though I would assume that that 55 feet is to the top of the tunnel, the conveyor tunnel, not to the other ones otherwise, because that would add probably another 10, 15 feet. So that max height is going to be with the tunnel, which is protruding out of the building. So up here on the top, we can see stamping line number 2, body in white number 2. This is body in white number 1 right here. This is existing. And first floor is general assembly. Second floor is paint. That's in the existing buildings. These two are the existing buildings right here. This is part of this phase, and so is this area down here. They've started their construction right about, I believe it's right about here is where they've started. They're going to continue all the way down here. They'll have this section over here. I'm not sure what this area is right over here. This one says warehouse, and this one is really small. Let's see if I can get that in. PT number 2. So that could be paint number 2. And that's what we're looking at for the buildings. And then we have whatever's going on down around here, which I don't know what those buildings are yet. It's me. Bear, can you repeat how many you think they're producing per day? I'm saying that they're producing at least 12 to 13 cars a day. That's what I'm seeing on a regular basis. And I know that there can be more if cars are being pulled out of there on the car haulers. To hit 20,000 cars next year, they need to produce around 2 cars per hour. I haven't done the math. If that's what it is, that seems 50 cars a day. No, I think you need a little bit more than that. The protection constraints are more likely to come upstream in parts, batteries, etc. That is true, Brian. There easily could be supply constraints that are going to slow things down. So hopefully they're going to be able to work around those. Like some companies are able to and other companies are not. Jason says, I do not believe Lucid will produce anything close to 100,000 vehicles. It's wishful thinking. I don't think they'll produce 100,000 because I don't think they'll have the orders for that quite yet. The gravity is not going to exist next year. So it's all a matter of the Lucids. And I think that might be a little bit high side on just orders. But that could change. They've I'm not sure where they're at on orders now, and I know it has been increasing, especially now that they're actually producing cars. Okay, I don't understand Crow's comment, but maybe because I missed some comments. So Gilbert says, nice site plans. Well, we hope to have some better ones soon. James Pittman says 2 an hour for now, I'm guessing. You know what? Maybe somebody could tell us if they've actually got 2 full shifts running. And It's Me says, you were very warm, Bear. So I had a feeling, but I'd like to see some of those cars get moved out of there. It'll mess up my counts because once we have less cars than we did the day before, I'm going to just be, I don't know what we had, but I'd like to see some of them start moving out of there. Walterman says, CEO like to underpromise and overachieve, so I think Lucid will come in with bigger than expected numbers. Well, this CEO does. There's other CEOs that don't like to do that. They like to overpromise. I'm not even talking about Tesla, if you guys think I am. But yeah, it would be nice if people would underpromise, and then I think it has a better effect in the future. Sammy says, you're appreciated. Hearts, thanks, smiley face, and a wave. Bear, thank you for all your hard work and great information that you're able to pass on to all of us. You demand. Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm able to help out the Lucid community with all this information. Let's see, James Pittman, are there supply issues now or no worries yet? Yeah, I don't think he's going to answer that one. But I'm going to say that there's not if they're producing 12 to 13 cars per day. I don't think that they're having supply issues. That's a pretty steady pace. So Lee says, man, I take so much knowledge away from these videos and details you give. I'm glad I'm able to help. I really am. I really do enjoy doing this, and I enjoy talking to the community, and just learning from people what they know. And it's kind of like being a little bit of a detective, because you got to figure out a lot of things. Also, I'm trying to see if I got anything else to show you guys. Not sure that I do, but we are working towards getting those site plans, and I think that those are going to be pretty exciting, because we're going to find out a little bit more information. And I think Liz is doing a fantastic job as far as getting these out. Oh my goodness, Gilbert, you make me want to not hang up. Check out our channel as well, Gilbert Solar. Is that a company, Solar in Gilbert, or is that not your name? But hey, thank you for the super chat. I will definitely check out Gilbert Solar and see what that's all about. And I appreciate all the support that you have given us today. Lee says, closest to Lucid around me will be Boston. Hopefully early next year they have an address and are hiring. Okay. James, if you raise good money, there will be a chance for more than 2 trips a week this month. 'Tis the season, says Kyle. Yeah, we've got something in the works where we might be starting to go out there a little bit more. The Lucid views, the Lucid Twitter comments and likes, they've been increasing a lot lately. And I think it's something that's going to motivate us to get out there a little bit more and get some more flyovers. Things are starting to really happen at Lucid between the car counts and the construction and just the progress there. I think we're going to be able to find it in our schedule. Maybe not this week, and with the holidays and whatnot. But I think right after New Year's, that might be a really good possibility. Oh, let's see. Someone commenting about JJ. JJ's like our #1 fan. Me and Brian's both. Let's see. You believe in delivering and moving cars while you're not present? Do you believe they will be able to meet their deadline? John, yes, I believe that their deadline of producing 520 cars is going to be achieved. I really have a lot of confidence in that. And It's Me says he really enjoys the channel. I'm glad you do, It's Me, and feel free to reach out to me, Twitter, Facebook, whatever works for you. Give me that inside information. No, I would never want you to violate your NDA, but yeah, go ahead. And Fei Wong, will you be going out there more next week? We will be going out there during the holidays.
we're not going to stop. So we will be out there again on Friday, and then probably next Wednesday and Friday. And we're going to get some more shots for you. I don't know. Maybe it's me could tell us whether or not there is going to be a shutdown for the holidays. That's something that should not be private information, but we would love to know if the plant's going to be open, or if there's any days that they're going to be closed. So we're reaching the end of this. I'm hoping it's me can let me know. Oh my God, Telmo Paris, thank you for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. This has been a wonderful super chat day. I want to just express my appreciation to everyone who's helped us. This really helps with the cost for the drone. Speaking of the drone, we have to do a return on the enhanced controller that we bought because it's got a dead spot in the stick, and we're going to have to send that back. And we do have another controller, the one that came with the unit, and we will still be able to fly. But we did run into a little bit of a snag, and we had to start a return for that earlier today. So hopefully it won't have a big effect on the flyovers, and you guys may never know it, but just some of that back end stuff to keep things going for you guys. But we bought the Pro controller, which was about $900 more, and it doesn't work great. Well, it works great except for that one spot on the left stick. What time on Friday? For the why? Is there a certain time I should be there? We'll probably be there probably between 10 to 12 on Friday. Not sure about exactly what time, but we'll be parked on the north side of the road. So look out for us. It'll be either me and my son Riley, or just Riley, depending on what chores I have to do around the shop here. And it's me. If you could just let us know if you guys are going to be open on Christmas, I would love to know that. So anyway, I do want to wish everybody a happy holiday. For those that celebrate it, Merry Christmas. And we will be back on Friday, not with the live stream, but just with the flyover. We will continue to post on Twitter and shoot out whatever pictures that we get to keep everybody excited. And I want to thank everyone for their super chats. I want to thank everyone who is here today. It was fun having you guys. We're going to do this again. If you guys are loving this type of flyover where we're actually talking about it, who knows, maybe in the future we'll do twice a week, but we'll have to see how that goes. If you're interested, please check out our Patreon account down in the description below. Also, we're going to have our Nikola flyover will be posted in probably about an hour, and then we will have this video will be also posted, plus one where we just do a shortened version of this flyover without much commentary at all. So thanks for being here. It was great seeing all you guys, and have a happy, Merry